back to another episode of Johanna Banana. Throw me the recap hat. Okay. Yep, I got a new recap cap. Okay, let's recap from our last Johanna Banana episode, which was last year. Yes, I know, it feels weird to be filming again. We all remember last year when I was involved with Mr. As If. He was the berry gentleman, and I had to end it for obvious reasons. But I feel like this is why I had to get out this recap cap. Because remember, I used to use the other cap? But the reason why I'm bringing out this recap cap is because I bought this when I was with Mr. As If. I bought this because he said to me, "Oh, I think you would look sexy in a cap." And I was like, maybe I would. Maybe he would like me more if I bought a cap. Yeah. So I bought this cap. But it's not bad. It has butterflies on it. I like it. But it just makes me realize that I really haven't changed. I really got to change. I give way too much of myself in these relationships. I really do. I pour so much of myself into relationships, and I don't want to just say romantic relationships. I don't. I get really upset when people think like, oh my God, you just put yourself out there and all these romantic. But it's like, no, it's kind of who I am. I do that with my friends. I do that with everybody. I put myself in, so much. But the difference is friendships. You're not sleeping with each other. Okay, so that's kind of the difference. But I've got to not put myself all in. Yeah, I've learned that now. So let's get to why we're doing another episode of Johanna Banana. Okay, so let's get to my latest mistake. All right, now after the married guy, Mr. As If, I obviously I'd taken another break from dating. I was scared. Excuse me. Hold it. Ah! Yeah, sorry, sneeze there. Okay, now I decided to go whenever I'm in transitional period or I'm going through a breakup or whatever. I always go to my video games. I love video games. I love going into a whole other world and escaping this reality of my fucked up love life. And I like going into another world. So for Christmas, got myself a Nintendo Switch, and I learned how to play this game called Animal Crossing. Aiden turned me onto this game. He said, this is a game that made women turn into gamers. He said, this is a game that girls played a lot during COVID. He knows my style of game. I'm a little girl when it comes to gaming. I don't like the shoot 'em up games. So he knew that this game was going to be for me. And I love animals. And so, anyway, so I got really, really big into this video game. And, but I kind of had reached a point in the video game where I kind of felt like stuck. And that's when my Aiden, my young kid who's into the whole gaming world and all these gaming platforms, says, why don't you join one of these groups on Reddit? I'm like, what the hell is Reddit? I'd never even heard of Reddit. And so he set up my account on Reddit, and I got some new gaming friends. Yes, I learned what my little island ID code was, and I would share that with people. And that is when I made a really good gaming friend. Oh my gosh, she's awesome. And I feel really bad that we haven't played in a long time. I'm sorry, girlfriend. I really am. But so we were playing our video games together. It was so much fun. Oh my God, it was fabulous. Like, we would go to each other's islands. Aiden's going to post some of the pictures now of us. Because you know me, I'm a social media picture attention whore. Okay. And I love all that stuff. And so, so I'm posting all these pictures, and I loved it. Anyways, I will call her Brell. I am mixing her name with her significant other's name. So I asked Brell one day, we were talking, we had become really good friends. And I asked her, I think she mentioned, oh, she mentioned she and her significant other, she and her boyfriend would play the game together. And so I ended up asking, because you remember in Johanna Banana, my hope section, because I didn't want it to be all about my fucked up love life. I wanted to talk about people that had like great relationships. So of course I asked her, how did you meet your significant other? And she told me that she met him on OkCupid. And I thought, that is a website I have never been on, and I thought, okay, I felt like I was ready. Like I really did. I felt like I was ready, and I'm like, okay, yeah, let's do it again. I know it's terrible, this online dating thing. It's awful, but I really don't know how else to meet people. I don't drink. I don't go to bars. I work with all women. It's like so hard. So yes, I went back on there. You think I would have learned after Mr. Asif, but I never learned because I want it so damn fucking badly. Okay, so I got on to OkCupid. I have a couple horrible dates. Awful. Um, but as I'm scrolling one night, I find this picture of this guy, and he just looks perfect. Like, the minute I saw him, I was like, this is the one. This is my guy. He just looks so nice. Like, he looked like he would never break your heart. Like, he would never lie to you. I mean, he just looks so perfect. Oh my God. And so I thought, this is it. This is it. This is it. And so I sent over a message, and he replied right away. And I thought, oh, this is amazing. And then he called me right away, and I thought, oh, this is amazing. And he was like me, like super energetic and talkative, and he had friends, and we spent like that first phone call, we were on the phone for like 3 hours, and we were sending pictures back and forth, like how I do with you girls, my girlfriends. I do this with my girlfriends all the time. We're on the phone, and we're like sending pictures back and forth. Oh, did you see this? Oh, did you see that? And it's so much fun. And I never have done that with the guy before. He had all these photos, and he was an open book, right? Open book. These are my kids, and this is my mom, and this is the karaoke bar I go to, and this, it was just like, it was blew me away. I thought that was amazing. I thought, oh my gosh, this is so it. And we got off the phone, and he had to get up to work that next morning. And even though he had like 2 hours of sleep that time, he was so happy. He was so into it. And the thing that I love the most about him, this is the two things that I will remember so much from our first phone conversation, and this is when I fell in love with him. He said, what I've always wanted to do? I've always wanted to spend New Year's with a woman. Yeah, I've always wanted to wake up with her, like, spend the night, give her a New Year's Eve kiss, and like wake up with her the next morning. And I was like, oh my God, that's like the cutest thing I've ever heard. And then the other thing that he said that I thought was so amazing was he said he loved people. And I was like, oh my God, I love people too. This is great. I found my social butterfly. I really thought I found my person, and I thought, this is great. And so, anyways, now that was our first phone conversation. I don't remember what day of the week that was. I want to say that was like Wednesday. And I think our first date, was going to be on Saturday. It was either Thursday or Saturday. It wasn't that long before we had our first date. And I just had we talked like all the time. Like, I never had to worry about what he was doing or where he was, or if he was going to call me or if he was going to text me, because he always did. Like, he was just boom, 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 like right on it. And I thought, this is amazing, because I'm glued to my phone, and I thought, this is great, and it felt perfect. We felt so in sync. Like, I never have met anybody so talkative and so outgoing like me. And I thought, this is great. So we go on our first date. Now, leading up to our first date, okay, he was very nervous. He was just like, I'm so nervous. I've had these first dates, and they never go well, and they're horrible, and I'm really nervous. And I was just kind of putting him at ease. I was like, it's going to be okay. I was like not nervous at all. I thought I had found my guy, and I'm like, it's going to be fine. We'll be fine. It's great. It's wonderful. So we go to Johnny Rockets, because me and Johnny Rockets. I love Johnny Rockets. I love that chocolate Coke. Oh, fabulous. So we go to Johnny Rockets, and he's telling me about the karaoke bar. And I was like, I've always wanted to try karaoke. I said, yeah, let's go. And he says, well, it's kind of far away. He did live about 45 minutes away from me. So, and he told me the karaoke was started at 8 o'clock and it went till midnight. So he said, it's going to be kind of late. Are you sure you want to go out there? And I'm like, hell yeah, I want to go out there, you know? And so we go out there, and it's so cool because like when we get in there, he knows this guy. He's like an acquaintance to this one guy, but he doesn't know him really well. But he has this guy has this significant other, so it's like we sit at this table with this other couple, and I've always wanted to do that. I've never done that because hello, Johanna Banana dates guys that have no friends, it doesn't go anywhere, right? And so this is amazing, right? We are at a karaoke bar. I'm sitting with my ex-boyfriend. We're with another couple. I'm like, this is freaking amazing, and this is what I want. This is my dream come true. You know, this is what I've always wanted to do because I'm such a social person. So it's like I get my social interaction and I get my man. I mean, it's like this is fabulous, right? And it was fun, and we had a great time, and it was fabulous. And that night I couldn't even sleep. I felt like I had won the lottery. I was so excited. We talked on the phone. He didn't even sleep that well. Like, oh my God, it was amazing. We had another date. Also on the first date, he was like, I can't wait to marry you. Like, we were because we're impulse driven people in the moment, we really got swept away. We were talking about living together, marriage, everything. Now, I did not mention the marriage or the living together. I did not mention that on the first date. He did. I would like to note that he did, because for a long time, ask Aiden, I was just like, I never wanted to get married again because I was just like, I've been married twice. If I get divorced a third time, well, that's just damn embarrassing. You know, I was just like, I can't do that. And Aiden never understood that. He was just like, I don't understand this point of all this dating if you don't want to get married again, right? Well, this guy said he wanted to marry me, and it got me thinking. I thought, yeah, I think I want to get married again. I've been divorced for 14 years now, and I thought, yeah, I want to get married again. He got me all excited with that, and things were going so well. It was awesome. And I told everybody, this is the one, this is it. I thought he's been through hell with his dating life. I've been through hell with my dating life. This is perfect. Let's come together. This is great. This is fabulous. It was a wonderful honeymoon period. I will say, Aiden says I am getting better in my dating life. I don't feel like I have gotten any better. I don't feel like I have grown. Hello, I found that stupid cat I bought for that damn married guy. But Aiden says the difference is I am having honeymoon periods. I never did have honeymoon periods in my other relationships. Before the married guy, I didn't have a honeymoon period. It was like one date, and then we found out, oh, you're married, or you live with mama. You found all this shit, and you're like, okay, done. But these last two relationships, I have had honeymoon periods for months. We're not talking like a week. And so maybe I am improving, because it was a great honeymoon period. I think I had a honeymoon period with him. We met in February, and the beginning of February, and I'm trying to, because I can pinpoint the beginning of the end. But I think it was a good honeymoon period for about 2 or 3 months, I think. Yeah, 2 or 3 months. So I had a honeymoon period, and it was fabulous, and it was wonderful. And oh my God, I would love to just go back to that, and I'm sure he would too, to be honest with you, because that was a time period that he could handle. But anyways, that was my honeymoon period. Let's go to our next chapter, which is the beginning of the end. Okay, so now let's get to the beginning of the end. I really hate how it doesn't, once the relationship ends, that's when you can look back and say, that was the beginning of the end. God, I hate that. I really freaking hate that. Okay, so let me lay down the foundation of what our schedule was like when we were in the honeymoon period. So we were spending Thursday through Sunday together. Now, he works Monday through Friday, and I, as some of you know, I worked Tuesday through Saturday. Now, he wanted me every weekend. He's like, it would be so nice if we could spend the weekends together. And I compromised. I can't take off every Saturday, but I said I will take off every other Saturday. So I was doing that. For him. That was my compromising. I was doing that for him. So it's Thursday or Friday. He's coming out here to us, And we I got off at 3 o'clock. Every time I used to get off at 3, and I would call him when I get off work, and we would talk for a while. So as I was driving home. Anyways, so he was coming out to see me. We were driving. I was driving from work. He was driving from work. And he's like, let me get off the phone with you. My sister's calling me. And I was like, okay. So I get home and I'm starting to make our dinner. And he calls me and he's like, oh my God. Oh my God, Joe. Oh my God, this is bad. This is bad. This is really bad. This is really serious. This is serious, Joe. This is serious, Joe. And I'm like, holy shit, like I'm freaking out. Like this guy can get you a panic attack, you know? And I'm like, okay, what happened? He says, I just hit somebody. I think I just hit somebody. Okay. All right. Now, what do we do here? Okay. I'm telling this man is 8 years older than me. I'm telling a grown man, okay, we pull off to the side of the road. We exchange insurance information. But that didn't happen, I guess. Apparently what happened was he fell asleep behind the wheel, okay? And he drifted into this other person's lane and tapped another car. He woke up by the tapping of the car and this guy yelling at him. And then this is supposedly his story. I hope to God this is what happened. I don't know. I don't trust this man now, but I don't know. But the guy yelled at him. He drove around and he was freaking out. I had to stay on the phone with him this entire time because he's like, oh my God, Joe, what do I do? Oh my God, are the cops going to come after me? Oh my God, my poor car, my car. Oh my God, right? And so he parks in our condo complex, and Ada and I go running out there because we're thinking, oh my God, this is horrible damage. And I'm like, what the? I couldn't see anything. I could not see anything. I went to my grooming techniques, okay? Groomers, we all know. How do we feel? How do we know if a dog's matted, packed with undercoat? We feel. Dog's clean. So I'm feeling, right? And so I go along the side of the car to feel it. And that's when I feel a small indentation. There was a small, microscopic little dent.
You couldn't even really see it unless you're in the sun.
Yeah, in the sun, right? A small thing. This man is having a huge meltdown. I am a little scared. I mean, it was scary. It was a wake-up call. I'm freaking out because he tells me, news to me, oh my God, I have sleep apnea. In 2016, I fell asleep behind the wheel and I totaled my mom's Saturn. And we're like, what the fuck? Yeah. We're like, oh my God, like, oh my gosh, this is bad. But, he's still out there. He was out there. I don't know how long he was out there. And he was out there
for like half an hour, constantly cleaning it,
freaking out over it, everything. I couldn't stay out there with him. I could not stay out there with him because I was cooking the dinner. I had my cornbread muffins. I made cornbread muffins in the oven, so I had to go back and I let Aiden deal with it. And you were trying to tell him,
I was trying to, but nothing would calm down. I was like, you're still alive,
Yeah, he was trying to, But he was so upset. He came in here, he went on the bed, he was crying, he was so upset, and of course he had to call his family members. But this is the thing, this is the first red flag. He called his family member, but he wouldn't tell them the whole story. He didn't want to tell them that he fell asleep, right? He didn't want to tell them he fell asleep. So what he wanted us to say, and I did not like this at all. The story was that he was at the grocery store and he came out and shopping cart. Damn shopping cart. Somebody dinged my car with a shopping cart. Yeah, that's what he wanted to say. And that's what he wanted me to tell people. And I'm just like, that's not cool, dude. You don't lie to your family members, right? He wanted to tell them, see, Aiden, I'm looking at this. He wanted to tell them for the emotional support, right? But he didn't want to tell the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
Just like he wanted the relationship with me, but he wanted it on his terms, you see?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm beginning to see these patterns, Anyways, so that was a wake-up call for all of us. I remember I looked at you, Aiden, and I thought, oh my God, Aiden, I cannot emotionally ever throw up on this man. And Aiden looked at me and he says, no, you cannot. And I'm like, fuck. Because I am emotional. You know, and I'm sorry. Life is emotional. Life is about, that person is down 1 minute, you pick that person up, then you're down. You want that person to, lean on that person, right? But at that very moment, I realized I couldn't lean on that person. I was like, fuck,
Yeah.
But I loved him, so I was just like, and everything else had been so wonderful. I didn't want to just throw that all away. I wanted to work on it. So what do I do? What do us women do? We make it work, right? So I thought, okay, this man cannot commute. He cannot commute. I can commute. I had been commuting, gosh, Aiden, how long have I been working on out? I do about a 45-minute commute every day, and I've been doing it. Oh gosh,
Probably,
you were 13. You were 13, and now you're
something.
yeah. Aiden was 13 when no, actually, you were younger. You were 12 when I started working in Scottsdale. So I've been commuting out in that area, the ritzy area where the money is, for years now. 6 years probably. Yeah. So I figured I could be the commuter. I will be the commuter, and I will drive out to him. So I was driving out to him. I started driving out to him, and one time it took me 3 hours to drive out to him because the traffic was so horrific and so horrible. But I did it, and I didn't even mind. Like, he felt really bad about it, but at the time I was so in love with this man, I didn't even care. Like, somebody said, oh, you should have just turned around and go home, but that was like the furthest thing from me. I'm like, no. My fairy tale thinking, I waited my whole damn life for this man. This is my soulmate. I want to totally, like, I don't mind driving to be with him. I'm going to spend the night with my man. That's what I was thinking. But anyways, so that happened. So that's what I was starting to do that. And we were really kind of concerned about it because he had been talking about moving in with me, and we're thinking, now he can't commute to me. We had a talk about it at one point, and it was kind of like a surface talk, and then we both looked at each other and said, oh, we'll figure it out. And I thought, okay, this is good. This is good. We'll figure it out. A lot can happen in a year. Let's just see what happens. So we kind of let that go. So I was constantly going out to see him. He wasn't coming over here to see me anymore. I was going out to see him, right? And another thing that he liked to do was he liked to go to all these damn grocery stores, all the time, right? And I did not realize that I was kind of getting burnt out. I did not realize that. I was getting burnt out of going to the damn grocery stores. I was getting burnt out of going to karaoke. I probably was getting burnt out of the drive because the commute was a harder commute than the commute I was used to. It was about 15 minutes longer, and it was on this yucky freeway called the 60. Blah! I don't like it. So it was different. But I still did it because that's what you do for someone you love, right? But I could feel that I didn't realize I was getting cranky. Like, it stuck up on me that I was getting burnt out from it. It stuck up on me on one Saturday. So one Saturday, I was driving out there, and I call him, and he's like, we got to go to the grocery store. And I'm like, fuck. I just worked all day, and I'm like, are you fucking shitting me? Like, I was just like, I don't want to get out of a fucking grocery store, and I asked him, I said, and I was hungry because, groomers don't have lunch breaks. They don't eat. So we work from 9 to 4 and we don't have a lunch break or anything. We kind of graze on snacks as we're going, but I was starving and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so hungry. And I asked him, I'm like, is there a Starbucks? I love Starbucks, even though it's so damn expensive. It just calms me down. I said, is there a Starbucks at the grocery? He's like, no, of course not. We're going to the one on like as if I knew, like if it was my part of town. Right. And so I said, okay. I said, oh, okay. I said, and I could feel myself wanting to fucking like go through the phone and like strangle this man. And it was the first time that I was like really pissed at him. And it was a weird feeling and it was new to me. And I'm like, okay, all right, let us take a memento. Let's take a moment and take a breather. Because my dad taught me, now he obviously was not taught this, but my dad taught me that when emotions are running high, walk away, walk away, walk away. Because you will say something you're going to regret. You will do something you're going to regret. Knee-jerk reactions are not good reactions, okay? They're not. And I was feeling that coming on. So I stepped away from the situation. I'm getting another phone call. I wasn't, but I said I was. I'm getting another phone call. I'll see you shortly. Now, I remember that there was a Starbucks on the corner by his house. And I thought, okay, I'm going to take a moment to just breathe. I'm going to breathe. So I go to the Starbucks and I take a moment and I'm breathing and I'm eating because I thought, okay, maybe I'm just, because I'm the type of person that I will look at myself first before I go play the blame game. You have to own your own shit. Okay. So I took a moment and I was breathing. I'm like, okay, I'm just cranky. I haven't eaten. Let me eat. Let me drink. Okay. All right. Great. So I go there. I calm down and I go to the grocery store. Now, one of my good friends, SB, said to me, because I was bitching about the grocery store so much, she said to me, she says, why do you have to go? And always talk to people about your relationships because they'll point out things that you don't see because you're knee deep in shit and you can't smell it.
Yeah,
so,
this is something I picked up on.
You picked
but
up.
I never said anything because she does the same thing to me.
Yes. Aiden never picked up on this because I drag Aiden to places too. Now, so he didn't pick up on it. He didn't.
Literally, it makes zero sense. Yeah, and she would drag.
But here's why I drag Aiden. Okay, so let's examine why he would drag me to the store. Let's examine why I drag Aiden to the store or the doctor. I drag my kid to places I don't want to fucking be at. Yeah, he's my regulator. Okay, I know it's a bad dynamic. He's 18 now. I know. Single parents, you get a very bad dynamic. Okay, it's not a healthy dynamic that happens. It just fucking happens. Okay, so he's my you become a team. It's really bad. So he's my regulator. When I'm cranky or I don't want to go somewhere, I do drag my kid. I do. I'm so sorry. Well, hello. Remember COVID? I almost lost my shit at Target. Thank God for you. Okay, yeah, thank God for Aiden. All right, now let's examine why my ex was having me go to the grocery store. Would you like to know why?
Why?
I was a financial backer. That's why. I didn't realize it at the time, but that's why. Yeah. So the reason why we had to go to this grocery store at this time was because it was his friend's birthday. Okay? It was his friend's birthday and he couldn't afford to get the gifts. Okay. Yeah. So that's why. Plus, he wanted to pick out for you. He did pay for your gift card. I will say that. He did pay for your gift card. I was proud for that. But yeah. So that's why. Anyways, so we go to the grocery store. I'm fine at the grocery store. I don't know why. I was okay at the grocery store and everything. But then I did get mad because I had to buy his friend this gift card and that pissed me off. And so we get back to his place, or I should say his landlord's place or whatever. We get back there and he wants to have margaritas on the patio. That was his favorite thing in the friggin' world to do. So we go have margaritas on the patio, and I can feel myself still cranky. I am still fucking cranky. I still want to, I don't know what it is. I still want to kill this guy, and I think it's because of Mother's Day, Aiden. It was Mother's Day that really pissed me off. So it was Mother's Day, and we wake up to Mother's Day and he's just acting like a spoiled brat. He didn't want to. Mother's Day, I was trying to take care of my friends that don't have significant others, okay? KP, I wanted to make sure you had that slideshow because you have a dickhead for a baby daddy. Okay, so Aiden and I wanted to make sure you had the slideshow of you and Bebe John. Okay, Miss Butterfly, your kids, I mean, your older son sounds great, but your younger son, he has issues. So I wanted to make sure you had some flowers on your day, okay? Um, Plus, I kind of had a chip on my shoulder for Mother's Day, too, because I never had a mother. And I'm sorry, I forget that I am a mother because I'm not really a mom anymore. So I was cranky too that morning. But, I'm an adult, so I understand the agenda that I am running with, right? He woke up Mother's Day and he was so cranky, so bitchy. He didn't want to go see his mom. He didn't want to go to the park because he was going to go see my friend. I wanted to go see you, Miss Butterfly. He didn't want to go to the park with Miss Butterfly. None of that. He was just a cranky jerk. And he was supposed to get me donuts. He said that's my thing. We all know I love my donuts. And he was going to get me donuts on Mother's Day. I thought I was going to wake up to donuts on Mother's Day. I didn't. I had to freaking go with him. Yeah, but I was not going to buy my own fucking donut on Mother's Day. I waited in the car. That pissed him off. That really did. He made me go with him to the donut place because I thought he was going to go get up early, let me sleep in. He was going to go get the donuts. He was going to let me sleep in. I was going to wake up to my maple bar. Then we were going to go have this park thing with Miss Butterfly. We're going to go to this park thing with Miss Butterfly. And then I was going to go home and spend some time with Aiden. He was going to go to his mom's, but he was so pissed off that he had to go to his mom's that he was pissed off that he had to go to the park with my friend. He had to do stuff he didn't want to do. He was all cranky, and so I could tell he was such a kid. You can always tell, when people are acting like your kid, when you're a parent. He was trying to go to get the donuts. He's like, and he lays down, and he's just like, and I'm like, just like kids do. We know. Parents know how kids act, and they're waiting for you to say something. I'm like, do you want me to go with you to the donuts? Yes. Fine, we'll fucking go get donuts. So we went to go get the donuts, but I knew he wanted me to fucking pay for it. And donuts are cheap. Donuts are freaking cheap. I'm like, this man is going to buy me a fucking donut if it kills me. So I said, okay. I said, I'm tired. I'm going to sit in the car. And he's like, really? And I said, really? Yeah. So So I think now as I'm telling this story, I'm thinking that is why I was so cranky. That's why I was so cranky. The minute I get off work, boom, now I have to go to the grocery store and buy my friend's gift card. Ugh. Yeah, because I already had that chip on my shoulder from the last weekend. Yeah, it really was the beginning of the end for us. I was really starting to see that I was with a child. So let's go back to the patio when I still had the chip over my shoulder because I didn't get my maple bar. And he didn't really want to go to the park with me and Miss Butterfly. He only went briefly, and then he was like, let's go. I'm sorry, Miss Butterfly. That was him. I know you wanted to stay longer. I know you did, girl. And I really wanted to stay longer. But we're going to go to that damn park together by ourselves with Miss Amma. And we're going to have a fabulous time without Grumpy Pants over there. Anyways, so I had all that going in my head. And I should have talked to him about that. And so I realized that is why I'm cranky. As I was sitting on the patio, went to the grocery store, staying on the patio, we're having the margaritas. I'm beginning to realize, okay, I have some unresolved issues I need to talk about. So I started to talk to him about this. I started to say, it's very hurtful when you're complaining about your family when I'm an orphan. Yeah. My family, I'm about to cry. My family are my friends, okay? They are Miss Butterfly. They are KP, and so that was why I was trying so hard to make their Mother's Day nice for them because I felt I have this great guy. I thought that at the time. They don't have anybody. I want to make their day special too. So I was telling him this, and I'm crying, and then it was like the floodgates opened, I had held back for so long, and that was my fault. I should have never held back for so long. I should have told him when these things were bothering me, like the donut thing. I should have told him about that I hated the fact he bitched about his mom all the time when his mom did so much for him. Okay, his mom did so much for him. He lived with his mom after his divorce for many years. His mom helped him out financially, and he never gave her credit for that. And that's so fucked up. That really is. Really is. And I have a hard time with that. And so anyway, so I'm telling him all this stuff, like I can't go to karaoke every night. Every Saturday I said, can we please do something else? And to his credit, this is the first time he saw me upset. So it was very shocking. It was very upsetting to him. And it's my fault because I shouldn't have let it get to that point. And I did. I allowed it to get to that point. But I could see that I was overwhelming him. I could see that he was like, oh my God, who the fuck is this person? She's going crazy. So again, emotions are running high. Walk away, walk away, walk away. So I decided to go take a nap. I always think about when the kids are little, cranky means nap. So I said, I'm going to go take a nap. I'm going to go lay down for a moment. I need to take a moment. I felt like we needed a moment. And so I went into his room. His room he rented. That was the only thing he really had to his name besides that damn car. So I go to his room, and I'm crying, and I'm laying down, and I need help. I go to people for support. I always went to my dad, and my dad always told me to go to people, don't go to other things, drugs and other things like that. Go to people for help. And so I go to people for help, and I went to Miss Butterfly, and I called her, and thank you so much, girl, for being there for me. But as I was sitting on his bed and I was talking to her, I was crying, and this is so heartbreaking because I knew that this was not going to be good. I could hear my dad. I could hear my dad saying, "Oh, Johanna." And I knew because my dad, he was an Episcopal priest, so he did a lot of marriage counseling. He did a lot of counseling and things like that. He knows relationships. He knows people. And it's very bad when you do not go to your significant other for emotional support. And I knew at that moment that it wasn't good. But I loved him. I still love him. And I wanted to make it work. Because that's what we do. I don't know why women are hardwired to cater to the men so much. I don't know why we are hardwired to make the damn relationship work when it doesn't. But we do. So after I talked to Miss Butterfly, and she calmed me down, and I made her ass come to the karaoke. I did. I pulled myself together, and again, hardwired, I decided I better go out to that kitchen and clean up our margarita appetizer mess that we made, because I know it's not all about me, and I didn't want to leave that mess for his landlord. I loved his landlord, I really did. And he's like, don't worry, I cleaned up for you. Yeah, it was our mess, but he cleaned up for me because he did all the cooking, I did all the cleaning. And I thought, me still wanting to make the relationship work, I thought, oh, that was so nice of him. No. What he should have done was he should have gone into his room, calmed me down, and said, hey, we're not going to do karaoke tonight. Our relationship and you are more important than the damn bar and karaoke. That's what he should have done. I didn't see it at the time because I was knee deep in shit and didn't smell it. So I thought, oh, okay, it's nice that he cleaned up the kitchen. Let's go to karaoke. Yeah, and I was tired and I didn't want to sing. I thought, oh, I'm not going to sing. I don't feel like singing. Doesn't matter. Boom, put my name in there to sing. Fine, I'll fucking sing. Karaoke just definitely disappointed me. It really did, because I love singing. I love dancing. We all know this. Everybody rides in the car with Johanna Banana. She's singing. But it's not like that. At the freaking karaoke bar, it is not like that. It is like everybody's drunk. You see all these women packing the fat in these clothes, like all over these men. It's so not fun. Nobody can even hear you. I think it's funny when people are like, oh my God, how do you get up there in front of all those people and do your singing? Excuse me, nobody's looking at you. Everybody's so drunk and damn self-centered. They don't even care. Like, it's the biggest joke known to man. Like, yeah, it's basically for people to feel like they're important for about 5 seconds. That's what karaoke is. It's dumb. I have much more fun singing in the car, singing in the shower. It's not fun at all. I don't even know what the hell this man gets out of it. I really don't. But you want to know something? Apparently, he cannot do karaoke without drinking. Yeah. I can do it just fine without anything. We all know the only time Johanna Banana needs a substance to get through life. At night. Yeah. Other than that, I function through life just fine. Anyways, so it was boring, but we went there. His friends were trying, they even asked his friends, they were like, when was the last time you saw her? Went out to her place. And he's like, ooh. And I said, well, he did say, oh yeah, because after we had our talk and stuff, after I didn't clean up the kitchen, he did say that he was going to come out to me, like, in the middle of June. We did pick a specific weekend for him that worked perfectly for his schedule.
Oh my God.
For him to come out. Yeah, we did come up with that. So when his friend, we're at the karaoke bar, asked me, when is he coming out? I said, oh, June, da-da-da-da. Yeah, I think it was this weekend, right? It was this weekend. Yeah, I think it was this weekend. And the guy looked at him and he's like, that's 3 weeks away. Oh God, I know. I really was with a child. I really, really was with a child. I really, really was. I cannot believe it. I mean, I like the fact, because I'm very childlike. We all know this. I mean, I am so childlike. I'm a big kid, but there's a difference from acting like a child and being childlike. Miss Butterfly has always said to me there is a difference in acting like a child and being childlike. And we all act like a child from time to time. I don't want to say that I'm like some evolved, got my shit together. We all have meltdowns. But the key is to recognize it. You've got to recognize it. And the key is to also see beyond your own pain. Those are the two big factors that I look for, and he didn't have those. And it was starting to show. Trust me, as you can see, it was starting to show that he did not have those kind of mature things. He really did not. He did not. Anyways, so that happened. Now, we got through that. I was feeling better about our relationship, and he was now going to go to California to go see his kids. Once a year, he goes to California to see his kids, and I was kind of relieved. I was feeling like, okay, maybe this will give us a break, and this will be okay. This will be good. Okay, going to California. Now, he has a good friend in California, and this friend was. I'm beginning to see, Aiden, that he's falling asleep. I'm beginning to see that this guy has had a lot of financial backers, right? Okay, so his good friend used to have this great job and had all this money and used to pay for him and his kids and all this stuff, right? But now his good friend doesn't have this job anymore and makes less money. So he gets up to California to see his kids, and they get to the hotel room. His friend shows up, and the first thing his friend says, and now looking back on this, I totally get why his friend said this, but his kids didn't understand why his friend said this, and it does sound a bit weird, but I get it now. His friend announced, I don't have any money, I'm broke. Yeah. And his kids were like, oh, well, that's nice. Yeah. Because, again, this guy does not tell the whole freaking story. Here I thought he was Mr. Open Book. No, he isn't. He does not tell the whole story. He didn't say, oh, you need to be thankful to so-and-so for supporting us all these years on our trips. No. So he's texting me constantly, so-and-so is broke. I don't know what to do. I'm like, maybe this is your turn to say thank you, good buddy. Yeah, I'm telling this to this man, this grown man that's 8 years older than me. This is maybe your turn to say thank you and return the favor. And he's like, oh, yeah, you're so right. Hello? Yeah, I'm fucking right, you dumbass. Like, I could believe that shit. I'm just like, okay, whatever. So, he does. He treats him. He does. This is what he does. He treats him to a hamburger at the mall. Oh!
Wow.
Thank you. Incredible, right? Now, they get to the bowling. Now, I don't know. Somebody needs to tell me this. Where the fuck has bowling gotten so damn expensive? 4 hours, 3 hours, $150? I do not.
Nobody plays physical games anymore.
Oh, is that what it is? I don't know. I don't understand what this is. But apparently, bowling has gotten very expensive. I've realized that due to my dating times, and I won't get into the story where I had to pay for the bowling entirely and the food. It was like $200. Yeah, I paid for a $200 date one time. Yes, horrible. Anyways, so he gets to the bowling in California with his kids, and it's too expensive for him. And he asks his good friend, not even remembering because he's all about his damn self. He asks his good friend, hey, but he doesn't ask him in the adult proper way. The adult proper way is to ask somebody, off to the side or in the car, hey, would you mind helping me out? No, he just says it in front of the whole damn world, in front of his kids, in front of the bowling attendant cashier person, and so so of course, he says, hey, can you help me out with bowling? And I totally understand. I feel for you, dude. I really do. It was like me and not getting my damn maple bar donut. He said, can you help me out in front of her? And the guy looked at me, he's like, fine. And just throws down his credit card and pays for the whole thing. Yeah, pays for the whole thing. Does my ex think, oh God, I didn't mean for you to pay for the whole thing. Jeez, let me buy you a beer. No, he doesn't even think about that. He doesn't. He doesn't think about that at all. Not at all, and then the funny thing is, like, the next day he texted me, he's like, so-and-so's acting weird, so-and-so doesn't want to hang out with me. Well, I'm not fucking surprised, dude. I'm really fucking not. Like, I was just so disgusted by that. Like, that just really disgusted me. So I was really beginning to see, like, some of these red flags kicking in. Okay. So then he gets back from, I should also say that while he was in California, I was finally getting back to my life. Yes, my girlfriends. Yes. So Aiden, let us post a video of what I was doing while he was having his good friend pay for the bowling. Let's show this video now. All right, let's check out Francis Flamingo. There you go, honey.
Smile.
Oh yeah, here's Poodle. Hey, Poodle. Oh, let's see Baby John and Krista. Here's KP, everybody. Oh, did you like that French onion dip?
French onion dip.
French onion dip. So good. Now here's my kid. Aiden, say hi to everybody. Okay, yeah, wasn't that great? I know, and in that very moment when I saw Baby John almost, doing his crawling thing, and now he's almost walking, I thought, damn, I've missed out on a lot. Yeah, my aunt gave me some crap about putting my friends on the back burner for guys, but it's another terrible thing that us girls do. Horrible that we do this. We're hardwired to do that too. We just put the guy fucking first. It's terrible. But yeah, that's when I realized, I'm like, oh my God, it's really all about him. Holy shit. So I thought, I started to pull away from him. I did. Like, he came back from his trip and he was a wreck. Like, he was a wreck. Probably because this guy had so many mental issues that when anything wasn't in his plan or structure, he's a wreck. So he came back a wreck and he was all upset and he was all worried about money and he's like, oh, I'm in debt, all this stuff. And I just got so tired of it. I got so tired of the drama. I got so tired of, I wish there'd come up for a name. I hate that women have the name Debbie Downer. Is it a dumpy Dawn? Is that the term we can use for men? But he's a Debbie Downer in the male sense. He's just horrible. Like, and he's just complaining. I got busy with work. I stopped, we lost a manager. My manager and I had a horrible falling out. She blasted me on Facebook. Did he give a shit about that? No, he didn't even ask about that. I was dealing with all this other crap, and so I just could not be his emotional support anymore. I could not do it. I really couldn't do it. And so I started pulling away, and he did feel it. He felt it. Okay, so one night, you remember this? Do you remember this, Aiden? One night, the pot had kicked in. Yeah, I do the pot at night to go to sleep. And I'm like starting to like sink into the bed. I'm like this. And my phone is blowing up my phone. Do you remember this night?
Oh, God.
Yes, this was horrible.
You were singing every 5 seconds.
And I'm like, I can't be there for you, dude. I can't. Would you like to know what he was blowing up my phone with?
Oh, God, that's right. Literally just a full financial breakdown.
It was his ledger. Of his trip. Whole ledger of his trip. And how he's now $700 in debt. And now he's going to DoorDash. But I would like to take a moment to get into this man's psyche so you can understand his thinking. As he was saying he's going to DoorDash, he did not want to put any miles on his precious car that he pays $580 a month for. Yes, he didn't want to put miles on this. And his dumbass thinking, because he's a dumbass kid, I'm going to rent a car. Rent a car to DoorDash. This is as stupid. Yes, he said this. This is as stupid as his thinking when he used to buy me something in one store and then be broke in another store. Ding, ding, ding. Ding, ding, ding. Hello, hello, hello. Yes. As they say in Spanish, estúpido. That was the most estúpido momento he ever had. Like, I just, this is when I realized, when he was saying all this shit to me, I'm like, fuck. Johanna, fuck. What the fuck are you doing in this situation? This is no bueno. Oh my God. I'm just like, ugh, horrible, right? But I was still in love with him, so I was letting it go. I just wasn't feeding into it, because I thought maybe if I don't feed into it, he's going to stop this stupid circle, dumbass, estúpido thinking. That's what I was thinking. Well, unfortunately, with people that are like this, it's really not good to leave them alone. Because this is when they make rash decisions. This is when it's terrible. So here we go. All right. This is what everybody's been waiting for. Okay. All right. Okay. You can turn up the volume now. You can wake up. I know. I'm sorry. I ramble a lot. Yeah. You even fell asleep for a moment there. Okay. Here's the breakup. Let's get to the phone call. All right. So first, let me post a clip of what Aiden and I were doing before the phone call. We were so busy, inundated with work, that this is what we were doing. Aiden, post the clip. All right, check it out, guys. Okay, what is this? Where did we find this? Staff management?
Yep.
Staff
members shift management.
Staff members shift management. Okay, look, we figured it out. Zelda's going to be gone on the 15th. And look, we changed it. Yeah. Not working.
You can even select different ones.
That way, customers don't book on a groomer that is not there. Oh my gosh. Okay, we figured it out, guys. Just had to share. Okay, Yes, this is our new fabulous app. We are in transition, and boy, being in fucking transition sucks, as we all know. Merging software programs sucks. So, yes, my attention was taken to this. Uh, and he knew it, and he realized it, and he had a little bitch fit. So, he called me up, and he said, he said, hey, I need to talk to you. Um, is Aiden around? I'm like, no. Even though Aiden was right around. But I said no. And so anyway, so he basically, I don't want to ruin your night or anything, but yeah, like he was so casual about the whole thing. Like there's a disconnect with him. There really is. He said, but this just isn't working out, and he said, I don't see you enough. The seeing you on the weekends, it just isn't working. uh, I want to have dinner with a woman during the week, and he was just so cold-hearted about the whole thing. And I'm
Not
just
that he
like,
could pay for one.
no, thank you. He couldn't pay to take one out, and he was just kind of just going. He was just. I felt like I was on, those. Do you remember that movie, Elf? Aiden used to love that movie when he was a kid. Yeah. Elf, and the fun thing that Elf liked to do was go around that rotating door. He thought that was so much.
Yeah.
Sometimes talking with this man was like that. You're like. Like you literally get dizzy. You really do. And he was just going off, he was just like, blah, blah, like this and this, I'm lonely, all about him, because he was having a meltdown because I had stopped making it all about him. I had hung out with my friends when he was in California. I got busy. Yeah, we got rid of that horrible manager. We have a fabulous new manager. I got busy with my new manager because I'm an assisting manager. So I got busy with her. Aiden is now working for us. He's stepping up doing data entry. So we were just booming. And I'm sorry, I don't have time to hold somebody's hand. Okay, I just don't. So, but what happened was it was a cry for help is what he was doing. He was doing a cry for help. He was doing it in a shitty, childlike, immature way. And I was crying at the moment. And I was like, I thought we were significant others. And he's like, yeah, I know, it's sad, blah, blah, blah. And as I keep talking, at the same token, I'm thinking, wait a minute. Like I'm hearing not my dad's voice. I'm hearing, I don't know, my higher self. This is your out, Johanna. That's what I was thinking. I'm like, I was beginning as I was going this circling thing, and he's talking all about his damn self and blah, 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 and, and he just didn't understand how I was okay with everything. I'm like, well, because I'm an adult, we're not going to be together 24/7. That's the point of a relationship, is having to work to be in a relationship and work around the real world on top of it. Okay, hello. And so he was getting upset that I wasn't getting like as upset as he was, even though I did start to cry at the end, and I was like, God damn it, I didn't want to cry, but I did. But as I was going through this revolving door, I thought, I think this is my exit. I'm like, yeah. Hold up, wait a minute, could I get out of this? Really? Could I really get out of this? I mean, there's part of me that didn't want to get out of it because I love him, and I was crying, and it just hurt me. It hurt me so much. I think the thing that hurt me so much is that he wasn't able to see all the sacrifices and everything I did for him. And it was like all of that wonderful honeymoon period, all of that stuff we had done, the fact that I had taken off every other Saturday for him, he didn't see any of that. I'm like, you're so ungrateful. And he's like, yeah, my kids said that about me. And I'm thinking, your fucking kids had to point that out? That's pretty fucking bad, dude. That's bad. And I'm just like, yeah. And so, but he didn't want to look like the bad guy. He never wanted to own it. Cause I said, so is this it? Are we ending it? And he's like, oh, you're saying that. Well, you're saying there's no point to our relationship. You're saying you can't just see me on the weekends. You're saying you want to have dinner with a woman on weeknights. How am I supposed to take this? And so I could feel myself getting upset. Like, Like I couldn't even breathe, like because it was such a shock. It was like, you know, a punch to the gut, like the wind is knocked out of you and you're just like I meant nothing to this man, and I really did. I really did. I really meant nothing to this man, really, because when I stopped catering to him, and I stopped being, you know, putting him on the pedestal, I meant nothing to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and his good friend. I wouldn't say his good friend. His neighbor. Let's clarify that. His neighbor pointed out the fact, and I never thought this, you know, when he was saying, remember, he was like, I'm so lonely, I just want to have dinner with a woman during the week. He didn't say me. He didn't say, I miss you.
Yeah.
I want to be with you. He was just talking in general. Yeah. So I'm not special. I made him fucking special. He made me think I was special, but I'm not fucking special. I realized that. And so, anyway, so I could feel that, you know, I was getting dizzy and I just said, okay. I'm like, breathing. And I'm like, okay, I need to get off the phone because I felt like this wasn't going to go anywhere. And I don't do Jerry Springer. Everybody knows I don't do Jerry Springer. I don't go, you fucking asshole. I don't do that shit. I don't do that. I grew up in a Lever Beaver household. Okay, I did. So I don't do that crap. Okay. And so I got off the phone and I cried for a minute and I was just like, I don't know what to do. And because it really hurt me when he was listening, I don't see the point in our relationship. So I texted him back and I'm like, the point in a relationship is making things work, talking about problems, working things out, you know, because if you love that person, that is the point. And I said, you obviously don't love me. And he replied back, yeah, I'm sorry. It just didn't work out. He was so cold-hearted about the whole thing, you know, and I was just like, I said, okay, I see where he was going. I see where he was going. He wanted me to sit there and beg him to come back. I don't beg anybody to come back. I said, okay. I said, all right. I said, fine. Okay. I said, please do not contact me ever again. And he said, don't worry. I won't. I'm done with social media. Ugh. Okay, done. So boom, we blocked. I block. Facebook, phone, everything, block, because I'm done. I finally woke up. I see him for who he is. I know he never loved me. You know, I don't think this man is capable of loving anybody. He told me in the beginning he never loved his ex-wife. He was never in love with her, and I truly believe that to this day. I think there is a disconnect in his head. I don't think that he can ever love anybody. I don't think he can see past his own self.
Yeah.
That's the problem. I think there's a mental illness there and he can't see past his own self, you know. There are so many red flags, you know, from not going to his friend's birthday party. That was wrong. He lied to him and said he was going to go see his sister. No, he didn't see his sister. He had a falling out with his sister. He was pissed at the fact his sister came out here. Why did his sister come out here? Oh, I know. His stepdad is terminally ill and dying. She came out to help out. But did he say that? No, he acted like she was coming out to ruin his whole life. Yeah, it was all about him. And now I'm feeling so much better talking this out because this morning I haven't been sleeping well. And I wake up every morning and I miss him and I start crying. And I'm just like, ugh. But yeah, now talking this out, yeah, he didn't give a damn about me. He really didn't. So thank you. Thank you all for listening to me ramble on because I have to talk these things out for me to feel better. I really do. And now I've talked to so many people and so many significant others, you know, or his friends, my friends, you know, significant people that knew him, know me. And yeah, we were not a good match. The only thing that I think that kind of got us into that honeymoon period and made us think that we were the one is the fact that we were both outgoing people. We were both outgoing. We weren't shy. We both wanted the relationship, but he couldn't be in a relationship. I don't think he can ever be in a relationship, to be honest with you. Not a serious relationship where you're married and all of that. When you're going through the ups and downs and all the trials and tribulations of a relationship and marriage, I don't think he's equipped for that. I really don't. And I realize that now. All right. let's get to the end. Okay, so after I got dumped, I had to call my aunt. I don't know what it is, but whenever something really painful happens to me, you want to talk to that person that knew you when you were a little girl. Because you do. When you get hurt out there in the world, you feel like you're a little kid again. So I called her. And I felt really bad because it was 8 o'clock at night when I called her. And she's 86 years old, okay? So this is what's going to crack up Aiden. Calling an 86-year-old woman at 8 o'clock at night is like calling us at midnight. Okay, all right. But I was just hysterical, and I will like to say that my aunt is not a person that you ever really want to emotionally throw up on.
No.
You don't. But the reason why I thought at first I was in a lot of pain, but I also knew that it was okay to emotionally throw up on her because she's a successfully single woman. So I knew that I would have no problem calling her and crying over an asshole guy. I knew it would be like, I know it, good riddance. Like, I knew that it would be like, we are women, hear us roar when I call her. So I knew that would be okay, and I knew she would calm me down. But, I mean, I couldn't even talk, because it was such a shock to my system. Like, it was a complete shock. Like, I was not expecting him to be that cold-hearted and that, I don't know why. He's a child, and immature and stuff. And so I was just shocked, and I called her. I couldn't even really. She's like panicking, because it's midnight to her practically. And she's like, hello? And I'm like, I need you. Like, I couldn't even talk, I'm just like, I need you. And she's like, what happened? So I told her what happened. And she did calm me down. And then I ended up talking to Miss Butterfly, of course, my wonderful friend, Miss Butterfly. And she and I were true kindreds because we did grow up in the church. Not that I'm super religious, and I do hate how judgmental religious people can be. But she does remind me of some of the things that my dad used to say, and that made me feel so much better because I was in such a panic. I ended up talking to her like, this is what I love about Miss Butterfly. She goes to bed like super early, like at 6 o'clock at night or something, and then wakes up at 3 a.m. So you can always text her at odd hours, and she'll just wake up in the middle of the night, and she'll look at it, and we can have our conversations then. It's kind of weird, but so we were talking at of course I couldn't sleep that night at all. We were talking at 3 a.m. or whatever, and she's just like, just remember, God loves you. And that's what that's what my dad used to always tell me. You're one of God's children, and I do like that. They made me feel better, and so thank you for that, girl. But I will say that after the phone call, we immediately, Aiden and we just immediately blocked him. So I blocked him from my phone. I blocked him from Facebook. Now we all know my addiction to Snapchat. He was on Snapchat briefly. But he didn't like it, and he didn't like how many videos I did of Snapchat. So I got him off of there. I put him on there so he could watch my videos and see our cute videos of us sharing our times together. But he didn't know how to use it, and the whole thing pissed him off, probably because it wasn't all about him. And so he made me take him off of there. And so when I told him, please don't contact me again, he's like, I'm done with social media. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. And so I blocked him from all the places that I could block him from. He didn't have a profile on Snapchat anymore. But I was surprised. He figured it out. He figured out Snapchat. He somehow figured it out, and he sent me a friend request on Snapchat. But of course I had to block that too, So I have blocked everything. I have not spoken to him. It's pretty fucked up that he did it. He broke up with me over the phone, pretty much, and then we kind of solidified it text message wise because I couldn't talk on the phone with it. That's so fucked up. After everything I did for him and all that stuff we did, that's the way he handled it. But he's a child, so there you go. So I have not spoken to him since then. Now, I would like to get into this really cool thing that has never happened to me before, because I do always look for the positive. You got to look for the positive. You can't dwell on the negative, and that's what he would do. He would dwell on the negative. I can't be with someone like that. But okay, so with this relationship, this is the first relationship in which, because this is the first guy that has had friends, or neighbors. This is the first relationship in which I have made friends out of it. I have gotten friends out of it. The couple that his neighbors that we hung out with a lot, I became really good friends with them, and I really liked them a lot. And it was that's the beauty of this whole thing. Maybe I always look for, was there a reason why this person came into my life? Okay. Good, bad, or ugly. Okay, maybe this person came into my life, to teach me a lesson, to teach me again that I keep putting myself, too much into a relationship too soon. But also I think it was cool because I made friends out of it, so maybe that's why. And I think um, one of his neighbors, she's awesome. She has given me a lot of good insight. She was the one that said, hey, he wasn't saying he missed you. He was saying he just was lonely. So anybody would help fill that situation. I wasn't special, as anybody would fill that situation. She also she helped me understand a dynamic that I had not seen before. And that is that there are some men out there, Eden, that are looking for the mamas. Seriously. Yeah, they are. They are looking for moms. But you don't have sex with your mom. Okay, you don't fuck your mom. And so it's like they want their cake and eat it too. Damn it. You can't have your cake and eat it too, And I have now learned that I am looking for an equal partner. I really like the fact that he didn't see me as a sex object. A lot of guys do see me as the hole that they fall into. And so I like the fact he didn't see me as the hole he falls into. That's another thing kind of threw me off a bit and thought that he was the one. But what he wanted was for a mom. That's what he wanted, for a mom, for it to be all about him. He only saw my friend KP once. And he saw Miss Butterfly, it's because she came to him. When he was going to come see my other two friends, he completely forgotten about that. So I now have to look for some of the red flags. I also have learned from his neighbor that I should not be so available to these guys. I really am too available. I make myself very accessible, very available, and I think that's where you're not setting those boundaries, right? You've got to set those boundaries. You don't. She really opened my eyes up today. You don't have to rush to the phone when they call. I'm a little girl. I get excited, so I rush to the phone. Not just when a guy calls, but when I love people, so that's where that's where it's hard. I think hard for me to toe that line is because I love people. People always say, "Oh, you go into these guy relationships," but I also go into my friendships just as hard and as strong too. I'm a strong person, so I go into everything very strong. Like I always tell people, I don't half-ass anything. I don't. I go into everything. I'm very driven. I'm very strong. His neighbor, and I think because of some of my strengths and I know exactly what I want, his neighbor did say that he was afraid of me. Yeah. And guys have said that to me. They have. I think because I have been single, I've been on my own, independent for so long, I am very strong. And one guy did tell me, and I appreciated his honesty. He's like, you intimidate the shit out of me. And I'm like, he's like, that's why you're single. And maybe that is it. Maybe I am a little bit strong, and I am strong. I know this, but it's because I know what I want too. So I think I need to be with somebody that is strong. So in moving forward, I am going to look into getting a matchmaker. I'm a little concerned though, because I was thinking like $500,000, but I just heard from one of my friends. Yes, you just texted me a little bit ago, girlfriend, and you said your sister got quoted $25K for a matchmaker, $500 to set up the profile, and $25K and with no guarantees. I can't afford that. I don't know about that. So I don't know. But what I do know is that I have to keep learning. And one thing I've got to learn, and I've got to slow down. The reason I wasn't slowing down in this relationship is because he was all in it in the beginning like I was. I never found somebody that was all in it, you know. We're going to plan this, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. I never had that before. So I kind of got like really carried away with that. And so, yeah, I think I do need, like I said, Aiden's my regulator. I think I need to learn how to regulate myself a little bit. I need to learn to slow things down. So I'm going to learn from this. You know, I'm going to learn that I do not deal well with men that need hand holding, coddling, reassurance, financial backing. I need a man. I want an equal partner. And I'm mad at myself because I got off of my list. I mean, remember I said I want someone to own their home like I own mine. I want someone to have a career like I have a career. Like I said, the shop I've been working at, Aiden was 13 when I started working at that shop. He is now 18. My ex, he's been working at the gas station for like a year. Yeah. So and renting a room. So he did not fit that criteria of what I was looking for. But I let it all go because I thought it was so cool how he just completely let me into his life like that, you know, and so I just completely forgot. But let me say something else. We're gonna end on a very good positive note because I do not want to end on that jerk. Okay, I don't want to give him any more attention, credit, or whatever. He doesn't deserve it. I'm realizing this. As I'm doing Johanna Banana, I'm kind of like, I'm getting my life back. Okay, so I want to do a shout out because I do truly believe that when one person leaves your life, somebody else will come in or re-come in. So a really cool thing that has happened in the midst of this whole being dumped. There's always good things that happen mixed with the bad. The good thing that has happened is I have reconnected with an old friend. Let's show a picture of let's show this video clip of when I reconnected when my ex was in California with his kids and everything, going broke. Making that poor man pay for the bowling. I'm so sorry. I reconnected with Nikki. So let's show this clip, Aiden, of Nikki. He's a go. All right, check it out. I am at Nikki's place. Yes. Oh my gosh, you should check out this pool, guys. Fabulous. Now you got to check out Nikki. This is my long lost sister, Nikki. Say hi to everybody. All my Snapchat viewers. I'm on Snapchat now. That's hi, everybody. All right, let's see her babies. This is Miss Shay Shay. And then this is, have you ever seen the Mexican hairless dog? Francis Flamingo. These are her babies. Thank you. All right. Yeah, so cool, so cool. I am so proud of you, girl. Nikki is a recovering alcoholic, okay? We had to end our friendship briefly. We both did. We were both sick. I will say I was just as sick as you, girlfriend. I really was. We were sick. I was your complete enabler in your alcoholism, and I'm sorry for that. But I finally had to walk away from that too. That took me a long time to walk away from that relationship because I love her and I still love her. You're my sister, girl. But I walked away from that. And so I hadn't talked to her in like 2 years. And unfortunately, her trailer burned down. Yeah, really sad. Her trailer burned down. And that's when another one of our friends reached out to me. And she said, hey, Nikki is asking for you. And that's when, you've got to be a bigger, better person. You really freaking do. You have to see beyond your own pain and your own hurt and your own whatever. And unfortunately, my ex was never able to do that. And so when I found out, that her trailer had burned down, and I found out that she was asking for me, there was like no thinking about it. I was just like, I'm there. You know when you need to do the right thing and you need to be the bigger person. And I reached out to her, and I called her, and we talked, and it was so great to catch up with her. And I was happy at that point. I really was happy with my relationship at that point. It was like right before he was going to go see his kids, and I was telling her about that. And the thing that I love about Nikki is you're a true kindred, just like me. You're an open book. You're not shy. There's no filter. You can comfortably talk about anything and everything. And so she, of course, wanted to talk to my ex because she couldn't wait to say hi, because she's known me the entire time trying to get a boyfriend. And so the first thing she says to him, she says, "Hey, I got one question for you." And he says, "Okay." And she's like, "Is the sex good?" and and he's like, "Jesus." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's Nikki for you. Yeah, that's Nikki." Anyways, I love you, girl. And she has been there for me through this entire breakup. And I can't help but think that I I'm not religious, but I do believe in God, and I do believe that there is a plan out there somewhere. We don't understand it, obviously. And I think that when one person is out of your life, I think that I another person comes in, and I feel like as my ex was getting ready to leave, I'm so grateful for you, girl, for coming in back into my life. And I'm so happy that we have rekindled our friendship. That's the first thing that she asked me when we talked for the first time. She said, "Can we ever be friends again?" And I said, "Yes, with boundaries." So I think that's something that we all need to learn. And I'm still learning. It's a struggle. Boundaries, boundaries. You've got to create boundaries. I think if you create boundaries, it can stop a lot of drama. It really can. It can stop some of these expectations. It can stop some of these miscommunications. It can stop people from feeling like they're being used. So I think that is what I have learned from all of this. I've got to set boundaries, and I've got to slow down. But the beauty in all of this is that I have made two good friends, and I reconnected with you, girl. I reconnected with you, Nikki. Thank you for that. And thank you all for watching another episode of Johanna Banana and her fucked up love life. I'm sorry that I ramble on, but I figure you can always hit pause. You can. You can take breaks. I know some of my friends watch it. It takes them sometimes. Some people, it takes 4 days to watch it because they just can't.
Oh.
And I get that. I always tell people, I am a piece of chocolate cake. You are going to need to take some milk breaks. You just are. But thank you all. And I will let you know how this matchmaker thing goes. I'm feeling so much better. I really do think I did the right thing in getting rid of the child. I thought about being friends with it again. Everybody says, no, that is not a good idea. I will not be friends with him again. I won't. But I learned from it. So that's the key. Thank you all for watching Johanna